we're on our way out to Ballan. It's a beautiful day out here in the goldfields of Victoria, Australia. The sky is mostly blue, just a few clouds here and there. We're not expecting any rain. Winds are, well, they're pretty good. A little bit gusty here and there, but only at about 20 k an hour. So hopefully where I'm at, it should be quite sheltered too. So we'll go zero in and see what we can find. Now, the farm there they'd recently bulldozed graded the warren. They thought that was that. However, the little buggers are back and have decided that they are going to build their new warren underneath their olive trees, and they don't particularly want that. So we are going to go see if we can't eradicate some of that problem. There's also a fox out there that they want gone because they have chooks. Let's see how we do. See you there. The drive here is pretty nice. A little remote, but pretty nice. That's the first shots I did with the high velocities. It wasn't very comfortable the way I was, and so I was making a bit of a hash of it. So I moved up to the center, and then I did a couple there. The ones at 5 and 2 o'clock were the first ones, and then I adjusted the reticle, and that was the next two. And then I went up to here, and that was the first 3 of that 4, and then the last one I kind of bollocksed. Then I did the low velocities, subsonics, and straight out of the box, that's what I got, those 4 at the top, and then the last one I yanked again. So that is with me with the last shot. But there you have it, so we're good to go. Righto guys, we're all set up, and you can see that brown patch ahead. I'll zoom in. That's where the rubber warrens used to be. They sort of stretched all along here, and it's been bulldozed, but they're still hiding in there. Okay, and then what they're doing is moving into the paddock, hanging around under the trees while there's daylight, because there are eagles around and they have been taking them, and then sort of coming into the middle of here where they congregate. There's some new scrapes around in that area there. You can't really make it out in the camera here. Then from there they're going along to these olive trees, which are on the top right. I'm not going to go any further because I don't want to show the owner's house. So along here, so you see these olive trees, where's my finger, here it is, all along that direction there, and that's where they're going to. So my hide at the moment is here, so I've got myself set up, and the gear for today, as usual, we have got the bog death grip, sorry about the angle if anyone gets seasick, CZ457 with the PARD Nightstalker on top, 4K. Haven't used it very much, did you in the last video. Ammunitions we're going to use are as follows. I'll mostly be using the subsonics as I'm quite close to the house, just for the noise, but however, if the wind affects them too much, I'll go on to the super extras. Sighted in for 0 on both. First one for the day, through the heart and lungs, instant off switch. Now I've just missed one, and I'll play the video afterwards. My LRF prediction didn't match up with the bullet trajectory. I got lucky when I replayed it on my phone that I could see the rear end of the bullet shine on the sun. So I was thinking, why? I went into the profile, correct profile, no worries, but the freaking data had changed. I don't know why, but the range of 0 had changed to 65, velocity, bullet weight, height of the scope above the gun, everything else had all just changed. So I had to re-enter it all again and re-zeroed, and this is what I got. First shot, end up down here. So next to here, and then I managed to group these ones here. And then after that I did a quick check on the tone, and that's what I got, and I got a little bit of wind there, so happy with that. That's what we're after, that'll do the job. But have a look at this video, you'll see what I mean. Well, here's 8 that I found, guys. There's more out there in the dark somewhere. I videoed most of them. I did miss a couple, forgot to press record. And I had a couple of misses through the night as well, which was a bit of a shame with the subsonics. So I went on to the high velocity ones instead. But as you can see, these are all pretty big. You'll have to excuse the spooky lighting. I'm standing in front of my my car headlights. Yeah, the real shame about the low velocities, the subsonics, going a bit weird on their profile there. I'm just going to have to start that one all over again. I did try to zero in the middle, but I'm just making noise for noise sake at that point, and it's going to scare everything off. So I just stuck with the high velocities. So it's been a pretty good night. You know, it's had its challenges, but that's what it's all about, isn't it? So thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one, and hunt safe, and look after yourselves out there. Catch you again. Bye for now. It's a bit of a postscript to the video. Now, it looked like I zeroed quite fine. You'll notice through that video there was quite a lot of high misses, and I went through and I watched every single one of them closely. I've even put some of those slow-mos into the video there. And I can only put it down to me. I thought the zero was fine, then I thought it wasn't. There was that data glitch. That was evident. And obviously, when I rectify the data glitch, the zero is no longer valid. So I had to give up using subsonics. So because it was all wrong in that data there, whenever it tried to estimate a range as to what that it would now be, if it was that sort of 50 meters, it was going to be wrong because it thought it was ranged at 60. It thought the bullets were faster. It was all cack. Disappointing. So I went on to the high velocities, and I was still seemingly shooting high, which it was doing my head in. So I put a target out. I didn't film it. I put a target out, and I decided, you know, I'm going to just take some shots there. I don't think it was necessarily at 50. If I remember, I put it out, and it was probably somewhere around 70 meters, about there. So I used the LRF. It gave me a solution, and I fired at the target, and I couldn't see where the shots were landing because it's dark. You know, it doesn't give you any sort of color range when you're on the infrared. And this was the result. Have a look. I took 4 shots aiming at that center ball, and that's what I got. A flyer and 3 good ones. Okay. I then went, you know what, I'm going to take another shot at one of these little single targets at the bottom. And I just took 1 shot. That's what I got. So why outside of 70 is it poop? I don't know. Well, the answer is evidently me. Maybe a little bit to do with ammunition, maybe still a little bit to do with zero. So I'm going to go down to the range. Instead of just trying to do it on a farm or anything else, I'm going to go down to a range and do it there, and I'm going to see what I can come up with to get an absolutely bang-on zero. The results were still good, but there's so many opportunities were lost. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Do you use PARD yourself? Issues yourself? Problems with ammunition? Now I'm using the Gillas. Do you think they're crap? I mean, yeah, they're cheap. That's why I use them. I do the hunting on a budget. Okay. This is a brand new rifle to me. It's literally had 100 shots through it. So let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks loads.